Miss Philippines. Okay, here's the difference also between Miss Philippines and
Miss Philippines wasn't sexy.
Here's the difference between Miss Philippines and Miss Colombia. Miss Philippines came to win. Miss Colombia came to lose. Colombia came there as if she had already won. And that's sexy also and intoxicating to have that confidence. But I think that she truly believed she was going to win. Whereas Miss Philippines came with something to prove. So I kept everything in mind, but I was also truly judging each category for what it was. So before they switched into their swimsuits, I saw them all, and I didn't think Miss Philippines would rock the swimsuit competition, okay? And actually, what I did, and not every judge did this way, because you have to vote so quickly. You literally have 20 seconds to vote in the swimsuit pageant. I tiered my voting. Let me explain this to you.
No, you're boring me to death. This is no fun.
No, it's boring to you, but it might not.
It's so boring, Perez. Come on, get to the point.
Anyways, what I wanted to get at was...
Which you're not.
Well, because you keep interrupting me. I judged each portion for what it was, and a girl can sometimes really perform and surprise. I wasn't expecting much of Miss Philippines from her swimsuit portion, so I had already in my mind thought she was going to not be that good, and then she came out and boom, gave me fierceness, and then I saw her big old, probably fake titties jiggling, and she owned it, and I was like, wow, she is rocking this. So I was originally going to score her way lower, and I ended up scoring her way higher. So yes, I was keeping everything in mind, but I was also scoring each portion for what it was, and a girl could really surprise you. And that was one of the questions that somebody asked me on the red carpet. What are you looking for? And I said, I'm looking for somebody who will surprise me, for that sparkle, for that it factor. And she really surprised me. I was not expecting her to be so fierce and fabulous in the swimsuit pageant. So anyways, we move forward. By then, my favorites were Colombia, Philippines, France, USA, and Japan. And then, and Venezuela and Dominican Republic. Anyways, those are my six favorites.
Did you?
I thought by that point that Miss Colombia was for sure going to win. In my mind, Colombia won the evening gown portion. And I'll tell you the moment specifically when I literally squealed in my seat. She's walking down the stairs, and she did not even look down. She could have tripped, but she kept her eyes on the prize. She kept staring forward. I mean, it was a risky move. Almost all the other girls, I think there might have been one or two that didn't look down, but almost all the other girls looked down to make sure that when they were going down the stairs, they weren't tripping. But Colombia, fearless. She owned it. I was all about Colombia. And then what also made this pageant different was they introduced a second question, right? Usually they just get one question. This year they got two. It was really a second opportunity for the contestants to be seen, not just visually. It's not just a visual competition. It's not just who's the prettiest. It's really who is deserving of being Miss Universe. So then when it was the interview portion, I thought that Colombia gave a great answer and that the Philippines gave a great answer. And then I was starting to be a little uncertain, but I was still favoring Colombia at that point. Mm-hmm. And then when it was time for the advocating, why should I be Miss Universe, that's when it became certain for me. Because also at that point, oh my God, I don't know if the people at home could see this, But Miss Columbia was being straight up diva bitch rude to her translator. Did you see this?
Really? No.
Oh my God. Oh my God. She was giving like the most awful side eye and throwing major shade because Miss Columbia was not happy with the pace or the way that the translator was translating. You didn't see that at all?
No, I missed
Oh
that.
my God, I was dying. I'm like, she's being cunty right now. Like, what did you see at home?
Well,
like,
was that a...
I
Okay.
wasn't sure who I was going to pick. But then it was just like, you know what? It just felt right. Like, I really felt like I had to take everything throughout the whole night into consideration. Everything that the pageant told me what they were looking for. It's not just a physical beauty contest. And I went with my gut and I voted for Miss Philippines. And then actually I found out afterwards it was unanimous. Every single judge on that panel, all four of us, voted for Miss Philippines to be number one. So then, when Steve Harvey announced that Colombia won, I wasn't shocked. I can't even speak now because I was shocked.
I asked it, and let me slow down this moment because will Steve aside, how did that go down? And what did they say to you guys, the judges? Anything? Were you just kind of left out there flapping in the breeze? Like, what happened?
You want to know what they said to the judges? Well, I don't know what they said, but Emmett came over to me, Emmett Smith, and said there was a shooting outside the theater right as the pageant ended. I'm like, what the fuck? Are you serious? I'm like, I thought people were going crazy because of what happened. I mean, people in the theater were going crazy. They were booing and yelling and like, wah, wah, wah. I'm like, somebody was shot? Is it really that next level? Like, oh my God, like I was starting to freak out. And then there was this like pandemonium and chaos on the stage. I don't know exactly the chain of events. I think somebody took Steve backstage or so. It's just crazy. I was a little bummed, not bummed, but I mean, jokingly bummed. I had a cute moment earlier in the show where I got to throw some shade at Donald Trump, and that probably I was trending on Twitter. It was all great, and then Steve Harvey had to come and fuck it all up.
Oh, well, is there anything else you want to add to the pageant last night? I mean, I think you've explained it all. I think we know how it works.
It's important to know that Miss Philippines won fair and square. All of the judges thought so. She deserved to win. It's not just a physical beauty contest. And I think in many ways, though, that losing is the best thing that could have happened to Miss Columbia.